My name is Jacob, some people call me Jacob, and this auction is our auction of important Chinese ceramics and works of art. The auction will take place in our Beverly Hills location on Sunday, March 22nd at 1 p.m. local time, which is around the time of Asia Week in New York City. Asia Week is sort of like an internationally renowned, not festival, but a time that there are shows, and it's like all about Asian art. And people come in from all over the world to go to New York to attend the various auctions and exhibitions and shows. And it's not just about things for sale. It's about lectures being given, museums, tours, education. It's really, to raise awareness. And yes, we have the market surrounding it too, where we conduct the auctions. So we are holding our auction March 22nd because it's around that time. We have a few things that are really nice in this auction. One is the piece that's on the front cover, which is a very rare, very beautiful Xuanda Marken period gilt bronze. I think that this gilt bronze, it's not just exciting, but it's important. The quality is exceptionally high. The fact that it is Marken period, Xuanda, that's extremely important. Not all these bronzes were always marked. The fact that it was marked means that it was for somebody exceptionally special, because otherwise they wouldn't have done that. And they're just so hard to come by nowadays, to find authentic ones from private collections. And this just happens to be one. And we were lucky enough to get it into our auction. I consider myself fortunate to have it. The auction estimate for this gilt bronze is $400,000 to $500,000. And the Chinese carved jadeite Buddha's hand. Jade is a very valuable stone. Just the inherent stone of jade, it has to do with wisdom and all these wonderful traits and properties about it. And for a long time been considered the most valuable stone in Chinese culture. The color of jade has a lot to do with the value. Jadeite is known for being bright green or lavender or even red and orange sometimes, but the bright green is very desirable, which this has. So the auction estimate for the jadeite antique carved Buddha's hand is $30,000 to $35,000. I actually would not be surprised if that exceeded auction estimate. Jadeite has become a very popular topic recently, and this happens to be an antique, beautiful piece. The large Chinese Huang Hui Bed, it's made out of yellow rosewood. It's a lot of pieces fully assembled without any nails or resin at all. It's enormous. It's quite amazing actually and beautiful. It's like a miniature room. You could stand in and walk around, and it's a whole structure. The size of furniture had a lot to do with how important you were, how wealthy you were. Space was never a big issue in China. It's a big place. So sometimes you could see a throne, for example, that's the size of this couch for somebody that's my size. And I'm not a very big person, but I would sit in this throne if that's what I wanted to do. So Chinese Huang Hui Bed is $60,000 to $80,000. And I expect that to go probably within estimate range or maybe even slightly above. The Chinese Wanli blue and white box. Wanli is a dynasty in the Ming Dynasty, and it's rare to get pieces of porcelain unbroken. This is an unbroken, the piece hasn't been repaired, which is obviously hard to do after so many hundreds of years. It's marked, which is a good thing. Blue and white, desirable, collectible, and Wanli is a great, well-known period. There's a fair number of pieces out there that you can find that are Wanli Marken period of varying values, but it's a good, well-known emperor, good, well-known dynasty, and the auction estimate for the Wanli box is $50,000 to $60,000. And with the porcelain market the way it is, you never know if it's going to go below, in the middle, or far beyond that. The Tang Dynasty marble guardian lion is, I think, it's one of my favorite pieces. It's not easy to come by. There aren't a whole lot of these pieces running around. There are some. You can find them at some auctions, but really high quality and actually Tang carved marble specifically, not just stone, is very collectible. It has been for a long time. This actually came out of an old collection of somebody in Los Angeles who my father had sold this piece to years and years ago, and it's been in their collection for, God, maybe 30 years or something like that. So I just personally have a passion for this piece because I like Tang carved marble. And it comes in all, they have different ones. You can have a different deity or something. This happens to be a guardian lion mounted very nicely on a wood stand. The auction estimate for this is $38,000 to $42,000. The Tang Dynasty Lokapala. Lokapalas were guardians, to ward off bad spirits. This happens to be an exceptional example. Sometimes they come in pairs, and it's very unfortunate. This is just a single. And they come in varying sizes. This one happens to be a little over 4 feet tall, 4.5 feet tall. It's really, really big, very well done. A lot of the original pigment is still there, which is not always common, depending on how the piece was handled, since it came out of China. I mean, it's fragile pottery, so you have to be really careful with it, and the pigment will come off just on your fingers by rubbing it. So there's a lot of original pigment still left. It's a wonderful, wonderful piece. And the auction estimate for this is $15,000 to $20,000, and I actually think that this has a very strong chance of exceeding that auction estimate. It's desirable, it's in good shape, it's beautiful, and it's very tall, which is unusual. This auction offers collectors an opportunity to do a few things, actually, depending on your level of collecting, because we have so many different kinds of items. There's almost 500 items in this auction. So you can find something for the seasoned collector who is not necessarily looking to just buy generic stuff, but to really keep their collection cold and get specific pieces. Or we have things for people that are looking to start, whether it's a snuff bottle or a jade carving. There's something in here for most anybody that appreciates this kind of art. Collectors can bid online at LiveAuctioneers.com. You have to search for I Am Chait Gallery. You can even contact us for condition reports, or if you have further questions about items, questions on condition, provenance, history, anything you can think of, there's a little button there that you can click.